Why the 2023 Golden State Warriors are unstoppable. So we're going to be going through that in today's video. As you all know, the Golden State Warriors NBA season is just around the corner and a lot of teams are looking to win another NBA championship. But in today's video, I'm going to be going through 5 reasons why I think the Golden State Warriors are going to win another NBA championship and what other teams are not going to be expecting from them. So before we get into it, make sure you like this video and don't forget, if you want more Golden State Warriors content like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hitting that red button down below. But let's get into the first reason, and the first reason being Golden State Warriors' insane shooting ability. As you all know, Golden State Warriors is home to 2 of the greatest shooters probably alive, which is Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, and they have honestly put a clinic over the past couple of seasons, showing what they are capable of doing on the 3-point line. Steph Curry last season played really well, averaging 25 points per game. He was making on average 4.5 3-points a game and had a 3-point percentage of 38%. The next highest player actually in that category was Klay Thompson, of course, who was actually hitting 3.6 3-points a game and actually had an average of 38%, which was really good. Jordan Poole was hitting 3 threes a game, and so was Andrew Wiggins. So they are a very efficient team, not only in the 3-point line, but they get a lot of 3-point attempts every single game. And obviously, guys, like the saying goes, 3s are better than 2s, and if you're able to shoot more 3s, especially compared to their 2s, you are going to have a 10-15 point lead very easily. There have been articles saying that the 3-point line has become so overpowered over the past couple of seasons because players such as Steph, Klay, and now you put in that mix Wiggins and Poole have been shooting a 3-point shot at such a high percentage. It's starting to get unfair and pretty much useless on why you would take a 2-pointer if you're able to shoot like them. Actually, last season as a team, the 3-point attempt rate was actually 0.45, which is basically 45%. So they were almost shooting half 3-pointers pretty much. So out of every shot they're taking, almost half of it were 3-pointers. And honestly, it's insane to see the efficiency that Golden State Warriors shoot at. I think this is going to play a huge factor into the next season. Steph Curry has definitely changed the game, and he's led to a lot of NBA stars and also NBA teams to really focus on the 3-point line. But like the saying goes, no one can do it better than the original, and Steph Curry is that man and is also the Golden State Warriors. To have someone like Klay in the team as well is so great to have, and Jordan Poole now getting involved when it comes to the 3-point attempts, and also Andrew Wiggins has been developing his 3-point shot since he's been training a lot with Klay and Steph to really get that down pat. But when it comes to the 3-point line, the Golden State Warriors live and die by it, but they are winning at all costs, and I do think that will help them win the NBA championship again next year. Reason number 2 is Golden State Warriors' incredible defense. Now I think this is really important to actually understand because defense wins championships, and you can definitely see that when it comes to the Golden State Warriors. A lot of people thought that Steph Curry was a terrible defender and that he was a liability on defense, but we have seen over the past couple of seasons, especially this season where they won the NBA championship, that their defensive presence is so good, not only as a team but also as Steph Curry as well. They've honestly done such a great job, and the defensive rating was actually very impressive. So the defensive rating, which is an estimate of points allowed per 100 possessions, was actually 106.9, which is really good. And I honestly do think their defense really does show what they're capable of and why they continue to win NBA championships. They have a great defensive rebound percentage, so it's basically an estimate of the percentage of available defensive rebounds of a player grab while they're on the floor, and they are at 78%. So that's honestly fantastic to see. So not only do they get rebounds, they play great defense, on-ball defense. They have such great defenders in Wiggins, Draymond Green. You got Kevon Looney, who's able to grab boards so effectively, and I love the balance within this team. You know, you obviously got players such as Steph, Jordan Poole, Klay, who are 3-point shooters. They're about that offense life. But then also on the other side of things, or the other spectrum of things, you have players in this roster that are defensively minded, which is Wiggins. You know, Klay Thompson's also a bit in that discussion. You got Draymond Green, Kevon Looney, and now you also have other players who are new to the game or new to this roster that are also more defensive minded. So I think it really does all balance out, which is fantastic. But the really saying does go that defense does win championships, and I do see why that happened in the NBA playoffs. You really saw Andrew Wiggins do a great job on guarding Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown, and even Draymond Green played great defense on them, and once they shut those 2 players down, honestly, Golden State Warriors are going to win win no matter what. So, like I always say, guys, defense is something you really have to watch out for, and Golden State Warriors defense, even though they lost players such as Otto Porter, Gary Payton II, JTA, I do think their defense is still going to be there next season. They've done such a great job so far, and I think the players that they have eventually signed in order to replace those older players have honestly been amazing. You know, Dante DiVincenzo, he's a great defensive-minded player. He's also got a really good three-point shot, which is fantastic to see. We also have other players in the league or other players in the roster such as JaMychal Green, who's going to be a great defensive presence. James Wiseman is also coming back, so that's going to be something that they got to watch out for. So there's a lot of reasons when it comes to the defense and why it's going to improve into next year. New players coming back, and I honestly do think that they're only just getting back into rhythm after winning an NBA championship. They know the recipe for success, and I do think they can do it again and win back-to-back. Reason number 3 is Golden State Warriors' great efficiency. Now, I think this really does get overlooked, especially in the NBA. A lot of people just tend to see stats, whether it's points, rebounds, blocks, whatever it is, but not many people look at the efficiency at which a team actually produces, you know, output, whether it's points, whether it's rebounds, or whether it's assists. Now, when it comes to Golden State Warriors, their effective field goal percentage last season was actually .552, so 55%. That was honestly insane to see, and also that their turnover percentage was only 13%. So they are a very efficient team in that case, and I honestly do think that really will play out, especially when it comes to versing other teams. Now, if you want to take this into perspective to other teams, the effective field goal percentage for other teams, especially when versing the Golden State Warriors, is only .48. So you see a difference, 48% compared to 55% for the Golden State Warriors, and that little bit of a difference really does have a huge outcome on the game, whether it's 10, 20 point lead, whatever it is. And I did really show you earlier, especially in this video, where Steph Curry, although he is, you know, attempting 12 threes a game, he's making around 4 or 5 of them, which puts him at a three-point percentage of 38%. Back in the day, having a 30% three-point shooting percentage was honestly really good. Now, in today's era, obviously, and people getting better at shooting, you definitely see a lot of players hit that 40% mark. But to see the players who actually are shooting higher than 30% on the game when it comes to the Golden State Warriors roster, so some players are Steph Curry. We also have Andrew Wiggins, who's shooting 39%. Jordan Poole was shooting 36%. Klay Thompson was shooting 38%. Draymond was still shooting 30%. Otto Porter last season was actually shooting 30%. And then we also have Damian Lee, 33%. Gary Payton II was shooting 35%. Kuminga was shooting 36%. So the list goes on and on, guys. There's 4 or 5 other players that also shot 30% from the three-point line, and that definitely does show the percentage when it comes to the effectability of these types of players. And I honestly think it's fantastic to see that. Obviously, some of the players I did mention have left, but the players that I think are coming in will be replacing them very well, and I think they can be up in the higher 30%, maybe even 40% from the three-point line. Now, when it comes to two-point percentages as well, their field goal percentage is even better. So a lot of them are actually above 50%. So some players that are actually above 50% when it comes to field goal percentage on the 2-point, they actually have Jordan Poole, Wiggins, Steph Curry. We also have Draymond Green, Otto Porter, who was actually last season, Kevon Looney, Damian Lee, Andre Iguodala. The list goes on and on, guys, and like I said, that efficiency really does play a huge part. When it comes NBA playoffs time, you really see teams who are very effective, especially on the court, really prosper and end up winning the series. And that's what we saw with Boston. If you want to have an example of Boston's field goal percentage or their effective field goal percentage, it was actually only .47, guys. 0.47 compared to Golden State Warriors 0.55. And that's why you saw Golden State Warriors really take the lead and really come out firing on all cylinders on each and every single game. Now, don't get me wrong, Boston did win a couple of games, and yes, that is true, but it did seem like they just slipped away with the win, maybe 1 or 2 plays at the end of the game that were able to give them a little bit of advantage, and they end up winning. But Golden State Warriors, when they beat the Boston Celtics, you could see that they honestly demolished them. They were up by 10, 20, 30 points at some times because they knew how to shoot efficiently and also how to, defend and all that good stuff. Reason number 4, which I think gets overlooked so many times, is coaching by Steve Kerr. I think Steve Kerr is a great coach, and he will continue to be a great coach for this team. What he really does well for this roster is really provide the players with their capabilities and has them push them to the absolute limit. I think, you know, the play style that Steve Kerr has for this team really does fit the players that they have on the roster. You know, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond, they've played with Steve Kerr, or, you know, have been coached by Steve Kerr pretty much their whole career. And honestly, that chemistry is just growing each and every single day. And I think they found the right, I guess, formula when it comes to finding the right role players to fit those core three in order to fit the play style, fit the chemistry, and all of that nature. So I honestly don't think Steve Kerr gets enough credit for what he has done. He's an NBA championship both as a coach and also as an NBA player, so he has so much experience in this space and he really knows what he's doing on both ends of the floor. Whether it's defense, whether it's offense, I honestly think Steve Kerr, I have the confidence in him that he's going to be able to lead this team to another NBA championship very, very soon. Reason number 5 is Golden State Warriors have great team chemistry. Now, I have thrown around this word chemistry throughout this whole video, but I think team chemistry is so important. That's why you see sometimes when, you know, big stars, they end up, you know, joining the same team, becoming a super team, you don't see them work out. It's because they're not on the same mission and they don't have the same goal. And I think that's so important. I think that's what makes Golden State Warriors so special. Even though there's superstars in the team, Andrew Wiggins is now a superstar, or, you know, somewhat all-star. You got Klay, you got Draymond, you got Steph. Even though they're all superstars, they all know what to do when it comes to playing together and sacrificing where they need to sacrifice in order for the team to win. Although Steph, you know, does drop 30-40 points a game, I think he is fine and happy to win the game if that means he only has to drop 10 points and maybe Klay Thompson goes for 30. So honestly, I think it is so important to gather a team of players that are unselfish, that are able to play together and honestly have one goal in mind, which is to win an NBA championship and win games at the end of the day. And I think that's what Golden State Warriors, out of any other team I know in the NBA, does very, very special. So guys, I just did want to say thank you so much for watching today's video. We actually just hit 11,000 subscribers, so thank you so much for that. Guys, thank you so much again. Love you all, and I'll see you soon. Peace.